There are no secrets to success, just things you haven't learned yet. And once you learn them, it's up to you to apply them. I'm Jamaal, aka Boss Eagle, Billboard-charting hip-hop artist and music business coach. Join me as we talk digital marketing, social media, technology, and more, and share interviews with industry professionals to help you unlock the secrets and take control of your music career. Because we are the new music business, and this is the Indie Musician Secrets Podcast. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Indie Musician Secrets Podcast. I am your host, Jamaal, aka Boss Eagle, Billboard-charting hip-hop artist and music business coach at Business Minded Musicians. I want to welcome you to today's episode. Before we dive into the info, though, I do just want to remind you that you can listen to the podcast on all your favorite platforms. And if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe, download, give me that 5-star rating, review episodes. Let me know that you're listening. Let me know that you're enjoying, and let's help continue to push the podcast forward. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Today's topic is 21 ways to make money as a musician. This is part 2. We did part 1 a week ago where we talked about numbers 1 through 7. We're going to go through numbers 8 through 14 today. And we're taking this from the Bandzoogle blog post entitled 21 Ways to Make Money as a Musician. So thank you to Bandzoogle. If you want to try Bandzoogle for your website, you can go to bandzoogle.com, sign up for that, use the promo code BizMindedMusic. And not only will you get that 30-day free trial, but you will also get 15% off any plan for your first year. All right, so we're going to dive right in. Number 8, as we're talking about 21 different ways to make money as a musician. Number 8 is to sell merch. And this is one of my favorite things. I love merch. You can sell merch online or at live shows. And according to Bandzoogle, they actually had $9.4 million worth of merch sold through Bandzoogle members' websites in just 2020 alone. So just a couple of years ago. Obviously, you can sell t-shirts, CDs, mugs, hats, hoodies, all that good stuff, those physical products, but you can also sell digital items like sheet music. You can sell lessons. I do have a merchandise and marketing agency called Merch Tower. If you want to check that out, I do help artists set up what I call hassle-free online merch stores. So you can check that out at merchtower.com. Number 9 is to run a crowdfunding campaign. According to Bandzoogle, they do also talk about that it shouldn't simply be treated as a way to make money. And I absolutely agree with that, because crowdfunding in and of itself is a little bit different. Yes, you are getting money in from donations and the perks that you have, but it's different from, some of the other ways that we, make money on kind of that rotating basis. It should be about making a connection with your biggest fans and bringing them along the journey with you. And this one in particular stands out to me because I'm actually in the process of preparing to run a crowdfunding campaign to fund my second album. But this is definitely one way that you can generate some revenue. And if you are looking at running a crowdfunding campaign, you may want to check out a book called Crowdstart by Ariel Hyatt. Ariel Hyatt, if you don't know, she's the owner of Cyber PR, which is a PR agency. And she's actually done this herself. She had a $50,000 goal, and I think ended up raising something like $62,000. I'm actually going to be probably getting this book. I've already started to watch some of her videos through a training program that she has as well. So if you are looking at trying to, fund your next project, a single, an album, EP, music video, etc., even a tour, you might think about crowdfunding as well. And on Bandzoogle, you can actually, they have a crowdfunding page template for their websites. So if you wanted to do that and you want to run it yourself, which, I'm always a big fan of, artists taking that ownership and taking control of those things themselves. Nothing against Indiegogo or Kickstarter, any of those, but you can do that right on your Bandzoogle website as well. So I'll leave a link for that book, Crowdstart by Ariel Hyatt. I'll leave that in the show notes and the description as well. So, all right, number 10, offer fan subscriptions. And this is honestly something that I have not done as of yet. Fan subscriptions are kind of where fans can subscribe to your website or a platform like Patreon for a monthly fee. And then they get access, to content, maybe you offer, early access to music videos or exclusives. Maybe they get merch discounts, etc. But one thing I would encourage you to consider and to remember is that you want to make sure that you're able to keep up with a fan subscription, because this is going to require a lot of time, and you don't want to you don't want to oversell and then underdeliver. So if you're not able to upload and keep up with all the content that you're kind of promising to put out there, fan subscriptions may be something you want to kind of put off to the side, or maybe put on the back burner for now. Maybe look at how some other folks are doing it successfully and try to model after that. But you really want to be able to deliver on fan subscriptions, especially because people are paying monthly. You want to make sure that they're getting their money's worth. So think about offering fan subscriptions if that is something that makes sense for you and your brand and your business, because again, that can be a way for you not only to generate revenue, but to generate recurring revenue. Number 11 is to collect your public performance royalties. You want to sign up with a PRO or a performance rights organization. In the US, that would be ASCAP, BMI. We do also have CSAC here, but CSAC is invitation only. So BMI or ASCAP is who you sign up with. PROs collect royalties on behalf of songwriters and publishers. So if you are an independent artist and you're writing your own music, you should be publishing that music with your PRO. And that what they're going to collect is, when music is played in music venues, sports arenas, shopping malls, etc. The PRO is going to collect money from those venues based on the licenses that they sell those venues, and then they distribute the money to the rights holder. So if you're the songwriter and you're the publisher, again, this is not the artist. We'll talk about that in a second. But for the songwriter and the publisher, then your PRO is going to collect that and then distribute those funds to you. So make sure that you are registered with a PRO. That's one of the first things you should be doing as an independent artist, is just making sure you're setting up all of your protections there. All right. Number 12 is to join Sound Exchange and get digital royalties. So this is when your music gets played on non-interactive streaming services. They have to pay royalties. So interactive streaming services would be like Pandora, XM satellite radio. These are where the user doesn't choose directly what they want to listen to. So that's different from, say, Spotify, which is interactive streaming. I can go on Spotify and I can pick the song that I want to listen to, versus Pandora, I can kind of choose a theme or an artist, but it'll play stuff that's similar to that, but I'm not exactly getting to choose a song that I want to listen to. So Sound Exchange, what they do is they're going to collect on behalf of the artist and the copyright owner. So the copyright owner is of the master, which if you are an indie and you own your own music, you're the copyright holder. So they're collecting 100% for that from these types of services. They're going to distribute the certain amount to the artist, which is the main artist. And then if they hold like 5% for any kind of like background or other featured artists. And then the other part is for the copyright holder. So make sure that you sign up for Sound Exchange. Make sure you register your songs, making sure you're collecting any money that is owed to you as a songwriter, as a publisher, as an artist, as a copyright owner, et cetera, et cetera. Make sure that you're going through all of these things. Number 13, continuing on with royalties, is collecting your live performance royalties. So these are royalties from your live performances. So when you perform your own original music, this is not for covers. When you do a show at a bar, at a club, at a theater, wherever it is, you should be going back into your PRO, you log into your account, whether that's with BMI or ASCAP, and then you're going to register your live performance. You're going to put your set list, and you'll include all the information about the venue and all that stuff too, because then what happens is your PRO is going to make sure that you get, if you're the songwriter, publisher, etc., not as an artist, right? But again, because they're collecting for a songwriter publisher, but they're going to make sure that the songwriter and publisher, if that's you, that you collect those royalties from live performances of your music. So I will be completely transparent with you. I've definitely forgotten to do this several times, but as much as you can remember, I know on ASCAP it's called On Stage. I don't know what it's called for BMI, but I'm sure it's something very similar in terms of process, where you'll go in, you register your set list, you register your performance so that your PRO can collect on your behalf. Lastly, for this episode, number 14 is to collect all of your mechanical royalties. So yes, this is a very royalty heavy episode, but these things are important, you guys. So your mechanical royalties, these are paid to songwriters or rights holders for music that is purchased. So CDs, vinyls, downloads, music streams, right? Your digital distributor a lot of time can collect these things on your behalf. So in the US, the retailers here include these royalties with payments to digital distributors. So when your digital distributor is paid and then you get your cut, that's how it works in the US. But if it's outside the US, the payments get sent to royalty collection societies, and then they distribute the royalties to the music publishers. So if you want to make sure you collect your royalties outside of the US, so if you're a US artist and you want to collect outside of the US, say like, Canada or France or whatever, you actually would need to register with each royalty collection society individually. Yeah, good luck with that, right? That would be a pain, right? Because you're going to have to first go find out who they all are, and there are ways to do that. But then you're going to have to go register your music with each one of those collection societies. But what I would suggest that you do is have your digital distributor collect these for you. So, for example, CD Baby is one of the largest digital distributors of music. If you sign up with their pro account, right? So there's like a standard account, which is cheaper, and there's a pro account, which is a little bit more. It's not a ton more, but what happens is with pro, they kind of become the publishing admin on your behalf. And then when those things are happening around the world, they're already collecting those for you and bringing them back into your account. They're bringing in those royalties, those mechanical royalties back in on your behalf. So you don't have to go register with SOCAN in Canada and all these other collection societies. When you register with like CD Baby or TuneCore or any of these, if they have a pro distribution model or a higher end distribution model, then I would highly recommend that you sign up with that instead of kind of your basic. Having a pro level, they'll go out and actually collect all of that stuff on your behalf around the world, making sure that you're getting paid everything that is due to you. What I'll do is I'll also just include the link to this blog post in the show notes in the description as well. So if you want to follow up on any of these things, I know, again, like I said, there might be some new concepts like mechanical royalties and live performance royalties and public performance royalties. But really, these things are important. And if we're going to be business minded musicians, we have to think, we have to operate like a business. These are the ways that we start to put our music business together, and we have to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to ensure that these things are in place. There have been stories of this happening all the time where, ASCAP has said like, hey, this person had, $200,000 sitting there waiting for them because they didn't have this one thing set up. Or somebody's like, hey, I went and finally registered for Sound Exchange, and then they went and looked at the backlog, and people got these like big payouts because their music had been playing, in these places, but they just weren't registered. So, go through these things and make sure that you check all of the boxes. So, your action item for today, your action item after learning all of this great new stuff. And again, I know there's a lot to unpack there, but one thing you can do is you can create and sell merch. And that's something, again, you don't have to sit around and wait for. You don't have to wait for a PRO to collect for you on your behalf. You don't have to wait for Sound Exchange. You don't have to wait for a crowdfunding campaign's 30 or 45-day term to run. Merch is something that you can create today and start selling today, literally. It's one of the most active things you can do as an artist. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about what is at least one new product you can create. Maybe you create a tank top. Maybe you create a new t-shirt or a hoodie. People love hoodies. Hoodies are a year-round item, right? Maybe it's a new hat. Maybe it's a water bottle, something like that you can create so that you can put out for your fans. You can put out and sell and actually start to generate money right away. So one of the sites that you can use is a site called Printful, and you can actually create and sell merch with Printful without having any inventory, without having any stock up front. I'll go ahead and also leave a link to Printful in the show notes in the description so you can check that out. I use Printful, and again, it's something that you can create today. You can literally go create a t-shirt right after listening to this podcast episode, sell it. Printful will get it to your customer. And that's what I really love about Printful, is that there is no inventory stocking. There's no upfront costs. You basically, you get the profit margin after they take out the wholesale cost. And so you have no upfront costs. It's amazing. So if you'd like to do that, I'll leave that link in the show description as well. And again, just want to remind you, if you want to get a 30-day free trial of Bandzoogle plus 15% off for your first year on any plan. Go to Bandzoogle, Bandzoogle, bandzoogle.com, choose your plan, enter the promo code BizMindedMusic, and not only will you get that 30-day free trial, but also 15% off any plan for the first year. And Bandzoogle has some amazing templates for artists. So if you have any questions or any topics you'd like to cover, you can email questions@indiemusiciansecrets.com. Don't forget to rate and review. I would really appreciate a 5-star rating. That would be awesome. Review the episodes that you're listening to. Let me know what you're getting out of this and that you're liking the show. And as always, please, please, please share the podcast with anyone that you think it would be helpful for. I would greatly appreciate that. So with that being said, go do your action item. Go think about something you can create and sell. Get that out there. Go through the other items too. Make sure everything is set up with your PRO and sound exchange, etc. And other than that, God bless. And I will see you when I see you. Peace. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow the Indie Musician Secrets podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen, and make sure to leave us a rating and review. Also, share this episode with other indie musicians you think it would be beneficial for. And for more helpful resources to help you grow your music business, visit us at businessmindedmusicians.com. I hope this episode has served you. We'll talk to you on the next episode.